that are pretty amazing. And again, every week I try to find different things that are not only relevant to our life, but also I tell you guys that anything that's of any good in this world has to come from the Torah. Nothing is new. The Torah says, nothing new has been created under the sun. Meaning that man has never invented anything. They may have innovated, but they never actually invented. Nothing was created by man. And anything that we have that's any good has to have a source in Torah. Whether it's a saying, like for example, there's a famous saying, that don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge a book by its cover. So I told the guys a story this a few days ago. It's a very good story. There's a big sage named Ibn Ezra. Ibn Ezra was a huge sage, giant chacham, had so much Torah in him, it was amazing. But what he didn't have is luck. He said himself that if he started a business of hats, people would be born without heads. If he started a business of umbrellas, it would stop raining. And if he started a cemetery, people would stop dying. That's how little luck he had. So Ibn Ezra was very, very poor. So one day Ibn Ezra goes to a shul. He wants to go to the shul. He wants to say some divrei Torah. He wants to teach a little bit. But they look at him and how he looks. These are all rich, successful people. And they look at him. He's a poor guy. They don't think he knows anything. They say, no, get out of here, get out of here. They kick him out. He says, oh, okay. You want to do this to me? I'm going to teach you a lesson. So the next week, he goes into the market and he sees this guy dressed nice, starts talking to him, and the guy, he's like, you know Torah? He goes, no, I don't know anything about Torah. He goes, well, what do you do? He goes, I sell meat. So the regular meat salesman, but the guy had a little bit of money. He goes, okay, listen, how much do you make a month? Yeah, let's say, just for argument's sake, for the example, he goes, I make $2,000 a month. And he says to him, you want to make $200,000 in 1 month? Yeah, of course. He says, okay, come with me and just do whatever I tell you. So the guy wears a suit, big stomach, beard, looks the part. So he comes back to the shul with Ibn Ezra. And again they see Ibn Ezra, they go, no. He goes, no, I'm not here it's not for me, I'm not here for myself. I just brought this big, giant tzaddik from out of town. So who is this guy? He goes, no, he's a big, righteous person. He's so righteous that you guys are not on a level that you can hear his voice. So everything that he says, he has to tell me, and I have to tell you. Like, really, how wise is this man? How wise is this man? It's like, listen, ask whatever you want, and he's gonna tell me. So they ask him a difficult question, and he reaches out to the meat seller. He reaches out to the meat seller, and he reaches out to the meat seller. He reaches out to the meat seller, and the meat seller says, doesn't say anything in his ear. And Ibn Ezra obviously knows the answer. He tells him the answer. Yeah, get the. Do you have the chairs? Okay, so he reaches out to him. The guy doesn't know anything. Obviously, pretends like he's whispering something into his ear. He doesn't say anything. Ibn Ezra knows the whole Torah. So he tells him, okay, this is the answer. Then they ask him another question. He pretends like he's listening to the guy, gives him another answer. Another answer. Like, wow, this guy's a giant chacham. Psh. They start donating money to him. This one guy says 1,000, 2,000, 5,000. 1,000, 2,000. They start giving him money. 4 days in a row, they're asking questions, and Even Ezra is giving them one answer after another, after another, after another. They've never seen anything like this. So after 4 days, they got to 200,000. All the richest people in all the city came to see this giant chacham. And they see this guy, this big guy with this poor man next to him. And the guy doesn't speak, he only talks to the poor man, and the poor man's giving them all the answers. So after 4 days, Even Ezra tells the meat seller, he goes, listen, we got the 200,000 that I promised you, I'm leaving. I proved my point. He goes, no, what do you mean, you're leaving? I made 200,000 in 4 days, look how much money we can make in another month. He goes, no, okay, you make it, I'm leaving. I don't need this money, it's not for me. He goes, okay, but what do? I don't know any Torah. He goes, listen, they're going to ask you three questions. He goes, what 3 questions? He goes, one question, one guy's going to come to you and says, listen, I want to divorce my wife. He goes, okay, so what do I tell him? You tell him, come back next week. He goes, why come back next week? He goes, because he goes home for a week. After a week, he's going to get along with his wife. He's going to forget he wanted to divorce her. So the guy is a fool. He doesn't know anything. So he's repeating himself, come back next week, come back next week, come back next week, come back next week. Over and over and over again. He goes, okay, the second question they're going to ask you, somebody's going to tell you, they'll say, listen, I dropped my tefillin, what do I do? And you tell them, pick it up, kiss it, and give tzedakah. So the guy's like, pick it up, kiss it, give tzedakah. Pick it up, kiss it, tzedakah. Pick it up, repeating over and over. He's a fool, he doesn't know anything. So he's repeating it over and over and over again. The third question they're going to ask you is, like, listen, I have this meat, I slaughtered this animal, how do I know if it's kosher? He says, put the lungs in the water. If there's a bubble, it's not kosher. Taref. If there's no bubble, it's kosher. Put it in the water. If there's a bubble, it's kosher. If it's not a bubble, it's not kosher. He repeats it over and over and over again. Okay, Even Ezra says, okay, I'm leaving. Goodbye. So this meat seller, like I told you guys several times, is a fool. He confused all the questions. So a few days later, somebody comes to him and goes, listen, I want to, I dropped my tefillin. So he tells him, come back next week. Another guy comes to him and says, listen, I have meat. How do I know it's kosher? He goes, pick it up, kiss it, and give tzedakah. Instead of put it in the water. And another guy says, listen, I want to divorce my wife. He goes, put her in the water. If there's bubbles, there's no divorce. Completely confused it. So obviously these people thought, what is this guy? This guy's crazy. He doesn't know anything. So they go after, they start to get, what do you know? They kick him out. They go find Even Ezra. Like, what did you do? What did you send us over here? This guy doesn't know anything. He goes, he doesn't know anything all of a sudden. When I was there, you asked him all the questions, he gave you the answers. Because you saw he's dressed nice, but it was really me who gave you the answers, the guy that's poor. He says, so he teaches us a very, very famous quote that became that quote that I just told you guys. He says, don't look at the jar, look at what's inside it. So modern people changed the verse a little bit, and they said, don't look at a book, don't judge a book by its cover. But it means the same thing. Showing us that anything that's any good, anything that's any wise, has to come from Torah.